Hello everybody, I'm Antoinette Dinkins, the mother of the Dinkin Curly Girls, Camille and Cassidy Dinkins. So today I wanted to come on to talk about rice water hair growth method. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. It's like really popular right now. But I come on today because a lot of people have been asking me, what is the hype about the rice water? So today we are going to talk about it. So I did write down some notes just in case you see me looking over. I'm reading from some notes. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about my experience with with rice water hair growth. And I want to I want to actually answer some questions. So they'll either DM me or personally ask me or text message me when they see that I share on Instagram that I use it. So instead of asking all the questions on an individual basis, I wanted to create a video where I'm able to answer all the questions all in one video. So when did I hear about the rice water hair growth method? It was about 2 years ago. I wasn't natural yet. I was thinking about it. My hair was already pretty long. So I was like, first off, it's rice water. Who came up with this? How can this grow your hair? So I started to do some research. And so I found out that rice water, it really came from women like in China, Japan, Asia, and I'm trying to see. So they had this video. First they had this picture with this lady. She was sitting on a mountain and she had this bowl with, I guess, the rice water in it, and her hair was sitting and laying on the mountain. And I'm like, what is this? So I don't know, I kind of have this infatuation about long hair, like the length of hair. Not that I actually want it to be past my leg or my butt or anything, but just knowing, like, how did you get this done? So that picture got me. And so they had this video of her, putting the rice water on. And so I'm like, I wonder, does this really work? So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna try it. Okay, I will tell you, before you try stuff, do your research. Please do your research. So I did the research on how to do it, but I didn't do the research yet on the benefits of it, what it was made of, what it can do to your hair, what are the downfalls of it. I was just like, I'm finna try it. So I did the research, and that's when I found out that it was originated from women in China, Japan, and Asia. It was a hair growth treatment that they had been using for the longest. Some women from Japan had floor length hair from using the rice water. So I was thinking, like, okay, I may want my hair to get long, but maybe when I get it to where I want it, I'll just stop using it. Okay. So eventually I gave in and I tried it it was like my hair was relaxed, but I was already like, okay, I'm gonna transition. So I probably had like 3 months worth of natural hair, and the rest was all still relaxed hair, which kind of like, you could just say I was transitioning my hair already. So let me talk about my experience with that. So I made the rice water, which later I'm gonna tell you how to make it, but I'm just gonna tell you the story right now. So I made the rice water. I'm all excited. I'm like, okay, let's see what this is all about. So I put it in my hair. I didn't know how to do it. I just had like this bowl, and I was just like pouring the bowl, like holding it over. I mean, stuff dripping all down my face. It was just a mess, but I'm just excited. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see what it's about. Okay. So they say you can leave it on there like, I don't know, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I didn't know, so I was like 15 minutes. I'm not going to overdo it. Okay. I put the stuff on my hair. Like I said, it's all over my face, all over my clothes. I didn't do it right. I'm just putting it in there. So, you know, the minutes are going by, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So I'm getting all my stuff ready that last 5 minutes, getting ready to wash it out. So I start touching my hair and I was like, okay. I don't even know. I was like, this is not going good. First off, my hair was getting matted. Now the top part, it was real soft, and I mean it was soft, but all this part, I was getting pieces and I was just trying to, and it was like one part I was like, oh, and my hair was stuck, like it was just matted up. And I'm like, okay, my hair was just, well, with it relaxed, my hair was straight. And I'm like, my hair was just straight. It wasn't matted then. So whatever I just put in my hair just did this to my hair. So I'm panicking now. I'm washing the stuff out. And as I'm washing it and I'm putting my hands through my hair, it's just like I couldn't put my hands through my hair. And I was like, oh my God, I just messed up my hair. Like, what am I gonna do? What is this? So I washed my hair. And so once I got it all out, my hair was matted up. All the relaxed hair was matted up. So I'm like, okay, obviously this is not for relaxed hair. I mean, obvious. So now I'm ready to do some research because I'm sitting here looking crazy with my hair matted up. And I'm like, so how do I get it to not be like this anymore? So here I am. I went to this video on YouTube of rice water video. The first video, it said rice water does not work. So I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? So what the lady was saying was, I'm not sure. I think she did have a relaxer. I'm not sure. But she was basically saying, you have to read into this stuff. You need to know your hair type, which this hair type thing is kind of new to me. The 4A, 4C, A, 3B. I'm really not even clear what my hair is. So this is kind of new. So I don't quite yet know what my type hair is. So I definitely didn't know that. I didn't know it at the time because I was still getting a relaxer. I still don't know now. That's a whole nother subject. So I didn't know what she was talking about on that part. And so she said, you need to know if your hair has a lot of protein. And I'm like, protein? What is she talking about? And so she just said, basically, I'm not doubting rice water, but it doesn't work for me. So I'm like, why didn't I do this stuff before I start the video? Like, here I am now trying to research, but you got the stuff in your head all matted up. Long story short, don't use it on relaxed hair. I'm not a licensed hairstylist, but from experience, I would say don't do it. Just don't do it because I don't think it's for you. I don't. So that was my experience. So once I decided to do the big chop, I did my big chop December the 19th, 2018. So that's about 8 months. Yeah, somewhere around. Okay. My 1 year anniversary for my big chop is coming up. Okay. Yeah. So, bring it back. It's okay. Sorry. First off, I have to tell myself, bring it back. Because I'll just go somewhere else. Like, I just have to tell myself, bring it back, Antoinette. Bring it back. So I brought it back. Okay. So I began using the rice water on a regular basis. When I say regular basis, not every day, not every other day, not every week, not every month. So after blogging about my hair growth journey on Instagram, one time I did do the post like, okay, I'm about to do my rice water method. And man, I wasn't expecting. I was just, for me, I was already kind of nervous with doing my big chop because I'm like, I've always had long hair and now I did the big chop. I don't know how to do my hair. And so I was like, how can I make this experience not as nervous or uncertain? And so I was like, okay, I can blog about my hair. So what I did, I had an Instagram page that I use on a personal basis. And so I said, I'm going to use this and I'm just going to blog about from the beginning to the end. And so December 19th, 2018, I did the big chop. I put it up there. And so from there, I just always put the date on it to remind me, okay, this is where you were then. And so I started that, like after the haircut, my hairstylist did the big chop and she did finger coils. So of course I recorded that picture, put the date on it, and from that point afterwards, when I washed my hair, that's when I started doing the rice water, because I wanted to see, okay, let's see, is it really working? And it did, seriously. So people started asking me a lot of questions. And so, you know, under the post, it's like, hey, what did you put in here? And so I don't do well with an overload. Like, say for instance, well, yeah, overload. Say for instance, like, you know, on one post, and then it was like maybe 4 or 3 people that was asking a question. And so I'm like, okay, how can I get all of this done at one time? Unfortunately, I did go ahead and answer them as they ask, and then they'll DM me, and then I'll answer then. And so I'm like, I mean, it's not a problem, but I was like, how can I get all this information in one place at one time so they can have it there? And so that's why I said, okay. I did say with the girls page that I would come on occasionally and put like, what do I use in their hair, different methods. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to put it on there because I do use it on their hair. So I was like, that'll work. I got all the questions. I wrote all the questions down. So that's what I'm going to do today. I wrote down all the questions. I went through my text messages and my DM, and I went on some of my posts and found some of the questions that the people asked me. I wrote them all down, and I'm going to answer them today. So first, I will say, let me get this straight. I am not a licensed hairstylist. I didn't go to school for hair. I'm only sharing my personal experience with this. So do your own research. Hey, have your own experience. I'm just telling you my experience. You can go from there. You can take the information. So I don't want you to say, oh, I did this, Antoinette told me to do this. No. Be wise. Be wise. So, and the reason I say that, everybody's hair isn't the same. My hair is not going to be the same as your hair. You may have, like, you may not have natural curls. You may have the fro or the puff, like the coarse hair. So we don't have the same hair. So it may not work. So the first question, does rice water work? I believe it does. I can only say believe because it hasn't been, there's not like this guaranteed proven. Only thing I know is from my experience and from using it. I just say I believe it does work. I don't think it only, well, I know it doesn't just work with hair growth. That's not the reason I use it. That is the reason I use it, one of the reasons, but not the only reason. I think it helps with detangling my hair. It's not as tangled once I do the rice water method. I feel like it strengthens my hair. I don't have any problems with dandruff. So I think that it plays a part as well with dandruff as well. So do I believe it works? Yes, I do. Number 2, how often do you use it? So let's see. I would say I use it every 2 to 3 months. Why? Because I have yet to find out if my hair has a lot of protein. And what I mean by that is they said that the rice water gives your hair protein. So it's important that you know if your hair already produces the right amount of protein in your hair, because if your hair already produces the right amount of protein and you're using the rice water method maybe once a month or twice a month or once a week or something, just think about it. You already produce the right amount of protein and you're putting more protein in there. So you don't want to over process it. Like, you don't want to give it too much, because honestly, when I had the relaxed hair, that may have been the case, that my hair already had the right amount of protein and I put more in there, and it was like, no. I mean, and it left my hair dry and brittle and like I said, matted. And of course we don't want that. We're trying to get the benefits, not the downfalls of it. So you need to know your hair to know how many times to do it. I do know some people, they do theirs once a month. For me, I don't think I need that, so I don't. I would do it probably 2 months, sometimes 3. Actually, it's been about 3 months this time. I'm actually in the process. I have some water fermenting now that I'm going to use. I'll do another video on that. So it'll be 3 months for me this time. So I don't know, so I have to be careful. Since I don't know the protein level of my hair, I have to be careful, because I don't want that bad experience that I was just talking about to happen again. Like, no, I don't want that to happen again. So number 3, do you use it on your daughter's hair? Yes, I do use it on my daughter's hair. I have my youngest daughter hair. If you saw previous videos, her hair is really long. Her hair is already past her bottom. And she's only 5 years old. Like, why would I keep using it on her hair? Who got to do it? I got to do it. I don't want to deal with it. And reminder, she's tender-headed. So she's crying. She's, all this moving. No. We gonna let you stay right where you are. My second daughter, her hair is long as well. She have a lot of come on, what's the word I'm looking for? Her hair draws up just like this. So her hair is probably like right now. Look on this side and see how it has my hair all drawn up, and then look how this is. So you'll think my hair isn't that long because my curls are so tight. Her curls are tight as well. Her hair is at her back as well. So I will use it occasionally on her hair. I'm not consistent with it because it's not needed. One time she made the statement, she's like, oh, I want really long hair too. And I was like, hey, I said, and I show her pictures from when I first started doing her hair. She was a little girl. I said, look how little your ponytails are. Look how long your hair is now. There's no need to worry about having long hair. It will grow as long as mommy keeps taking care of it, making sure it's healthy, making sure it's oiled. You're good. So I have to get her right as far as this is not a necessity. You don't need long hair to be cute, all this stuff. Yes, I have the whole conversation with my kids. Look, there I go again. Bring it back. Bring it back. Yes, so yes, I do use it on my girl's hair. I stopped using it on Cassie's hair because her hair doesn't need to grow anymore. Camille, I'll use it. Say for instance, I'll have some left over from me doing my own hair, and if it's time for a hair wash for her, I'll go ahead and use it on her hair. To me, I've seen hair length since using it on Camille's hair as well. So next question, do I think it's safe to use it on kids' hair? Well, I use it on my kids' hair, so I think it's safe, but that's for my child. So if you don't think it's safe to use on your kids' hair, don't use it. Don't use it, because if you're not if you don't know anything about your hair or your child's hair, it may not be a good idea, because I don't want your child's hair getting matted maybe say for instance you don't even style your kids' hair, you take them to the hair salon. I don't want that happening in the middle of, you know, you're washing their hair and they can't get to the hair salon. I don't want to be responsible for that. So I would say it's up to you. I think it's safe for my kids. I do use it on their hair. It may not be for everyone's child. Something I will say, you definitely don't want to use it every month, every 2 weeks on a child's head. You shouldn't do it every time you wash your hair, because even though you don't know if your hair has a lot of protein or not, I still think that's too much for a child. So I wouldn't use it as often as I would on an adult's hair. So that's just what I think. What is in it? So I did research and it said rice water is said to have amino acids, B vitamins, vitamin E, minerals, and antioxidants. So obviously it's beneficial to the hair. I'm not sure. How do you make it? Okay, so how do I make it? So I've used rice water the most. And when I say that, the next question will explain what I mean when I say rice water the most. There's another way. I use rice water the most, and you know what? I'm not gonna answer that one because another question is gonna ask the same thing. So I'm gonna jump to the next question. What's the difference in fermented water and rice water? So this is what I was talking about. So you do have two. You have either fermented water or you have the rice water. So it is said that fermented water is better because it have more antioxidants in it. So I think that's the only difference. Fermented water have more antioxidant than rice water. So here it is. How do you make fermented water and rice water? So that's why I skipped the other question. So the fermented water is the soaking method before you strain the water. So what you do is, unfortunately, I do not measure the amount of rice that I put in the bowl or whatever I'm soaking it in. So you may want to do some research on that, because some people do. They measure, oh, you only put half a cup of rice, this amount of water. I don't do all that. So, but what you do is you pour your rice in a bowl or cup or whatever it is that you're using. I would say don't use it on something that you eat with. Just have this only for that. So you put the rice in, and then you put a certain amount of water in the container with the rice, and you leave it in room temperature and you let it sit, but no more than 2 days, because if you think about it, it can go bad too. So you should not let it sit more than 2 days. That is important. That's why I keep repeating, because it'll go bad, and so you'll just have sour stuff that's not even efficient in your hair for no reason, because it doesn't work anymore because you let it go bad. So no more than 2 days. Yeah, so after you let that sit no more than 2 days, the water that is left in there with the rice, that's fermented water. So if you have a drain, one of those little things that you can drain the rice out, and you can get the water that comes out once the rice is stayed in the drain and you got the water coming out, that's the fermented water that you use for your hair. So that's how you do fermented water. Rice water is the water that you see when you're cooking rice. You will do the same thing, just don't put salt in it. Like you're not cooking your hair. So don't put the salt in it. Only thing you're doing, you putting the amount of rice in the, well, not the amount of rice you would when you're cooking, but it's the same kind of process. So you're putting the rice in the pot, and then you got the water, and you let it boil. Only thing I would say you have to watch it is because, you know, with rice water, I mean, when you're making rice, the water soaks into the rice. So you need to get the water before it soaks into the rice, because that starchy water that you see that you usually drain when you're cooking rice, that's what you need for your hair. So that starchy white looking water, it's all cloudy, that's the rice water. So that's the difference. Fermented water, you're letting it soak, you're not cooking it, you're leaving it out. Boiling, well, rice water, you have to boil it. So that's the difference. So, and then the last question, do I make the rice water for other people? I didn't. Well, I did it on a consistent basis. Because at first I was, you know, people asked me, hey, can you make it? I wasn't able to yet because I wanted to make sure. First, I was too busy. I had school. I just had too much going on. So people was like, oh, I need you to keep making my rice water. So in my head, okay, I'm gonna make it this one time, but you may need it depending on your hair. I don't know how many times you do it, so I may not be able to always have it ready. So if I can't commit to something, I'm not even going to say yes to it. So I said no, I'm not. So now I would say that I am, but until I do it on a consistent basis, I need to work on a little bit more, because I need to have labels and stuff to let you all know what to do, what not to do, because I'm not gonna just give you the rice water and you're keeping it for more than 3 days, 5 days, and it's old and spoiled and you got stuff sitting in your hair that's not even beneficial. No. So I want to make sure that I have everything lined up before. Now I will, for someone that already knows all the ins and outs, what to do, what not to do, I will make it for them. I don't mind doing it. So I will make it. I am able to make it now. So that was the last question. But I wanted to say, for my rice water, I actually add oils into my rice water before I put it in my hair. It's not a necessity. You don't have to do it, but that's what I do. Because even if I'm not doing rice water on my girls' hair, I would use coconut oil and base it with their hair. So I would oil it, you know, part it, oil, put it all over their hair and let it sit, because it helps with detangling, keeps your hair soft, it's shiny. And so with the rice water, I always just add oils. So I did bring some of the oils that I add in there. This is always my go-to. Tea tree oil. Let's see. Making sure you can see it. Well, just know it's tea tree oil. I'll drop some tea tree oil inside of my rice water. At the moment, I've used this before. This African Best Black Castor Oil Miracle Sealing Oil. I'll put some of this in as well. It has black castor oil, tea tree oil, and soybean oil inside of here. So I'll put some drops of this inside of my rice water as well. I love some Kaleidoscope Miracle Drops. I also put some of this in. So one thing about it, if one thing is not working, rice water, something's gonna work. And I know for sure Kaleidoscope Miracle Drops, it works. And of course I can't leave out Wild Growth. Wild Growth been it for a while. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's efficient. It works. So I'll put some of this in as well. Wild Growth hair oil. And so I mix it in and I let it sit in my hair. I've seen where they say they let it stay in for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't think you should go over 30 minutes. I only do about 15 minutes still because I don't want to leave it in too long. Sometimes I do 10. I don't want it to stay in too long. Just do what you got to do to my hair and come on out. So, it depends on what you prefer, but some people, how you put it on. Now, you remember in the beginning I was talking about I'm using a bowl, pouring it, it's falling all in my head. I don't want oils and rice water going in my eye. So I was like, okay, you're going to have to do this the right way. You need to get some in order, have you a towel. So for some, it's easier to use one of these. So all you're doing is maybe parting your hair like you do it like you would a hot oil treatment. So you're parting your hair, you're going all the way to the back. Of course, you need a towel on because it's going to drip out. And then once you finish oiling, you just kind of randomly pour it all over and make sure it's all over your hair. And then you get the little plastic cap, let it sit on. And then this is actually really simple. Use a spray bottle. This is what I use when someone asks me to make some rice water. This is what I put it in. And I do this for a reason. It will only be enough. When you put this in, when you're about to wash your hair, by the time you finish spraying this, it's going to be enough for 1 or 2 hair wash. So I really want it to be for 1. So if you wanted me to make this, it's only for 1 day. It needs to be for 1 day. I don't want to get a bottle this big to give to people to sell because they'll be leaving this sitting out to the next wash, and that's too long because you shouldn't be washing your hair ever. Well, I can't say you shouldn't be. Normally, people don't wash their hair more than once a week unless you're doing wash and goes. But you shouldn't be doing a rice water every time either. So if you have rice water, this much rice water, you're not using that. You're not using all of it for the first time, that first hair wash. And you don't need it left over. And I don't want someone leaving all the rice water and like, I'm going to save this. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for my next hair wash. No, no, no. I wouldn't do that. So, for the safety, I don't get it any bigger than this. So, by the time you finish spraying this all over your hair, it's gone. Because it's supposed to be. Shouldn't be over 2 days. So please don't, even if you do it yourself, don't make rice water, put it in the refrigerator and leave it for like 2 and 3 weeks. No, you're basically putting spoiled, sour water from rice in your hair that I'm sure at that point you're not going to get more antioxidants. You're not going to get more minerals. You're not going to get more vitamins. You're not going to get more amino acids. It's the same amount. And you probably don't get any because it's spoiled. So please don't do that. Please. Please. So, yeah. Bring it back. Bring it back. So, that is all that I have. I hope that it helps you understand and maybe even try rice water. So, thank you for watching. I hope that you subscribe to our channel, The Dinkin' Curly Girls. You can follow us on Instagram at Dinkin's Curly Girls. And you can also follow my blog on Instagram at Antoinette_Dinkins. See you next time.